for the first time, I'm going to try to do a little bit more editing on my videos. And right now, I'm actually recording my voice, not with my headset, but also, well, I am with my headset, but also with my iPhone, just to see if I can get a little bit better audio quality. And yeah, so this video is about, it's going to be a spotlight on Benkei's Last Stand, which used to be the most crap legendary you could get. And actually, uh, I used to just delete them right away as soon as I got them, because previously the perk was 15% chance of ignoring arrow damage. But since the Gear Mastery system, with all the updates that we had to the gear system, Benkei's actually was one of the two legendaries that got buffed. It was Benkei's Last Stand and Lady Sanjo's Remorse. So Benkei's actually now went up to 75% chance to ignore arrow damage, and Lady Sanjo's went up to 25 chance to cause enemies to hallucinate, and that was previously 15. So this one is not that big of a buff, but Benkei's absolutely is. And actually, I went in yesterday and played a little bit with this on, because the hostility this week is back to Hawachas, which is my favorite. I know this is weird to say because a lot of people don't know how to deal with Hawachas, and yeah, it used to be really frustrating for me as well, but I guess I just got better at evading them. I still die, I still take damage, but I still find that a lot more, the level of threat, the way that it interacts not just with you but also with enemies, and you can use them in your advantage. It just, in comparison to the orbs, where the enemies don't even slow down or anything, they don't get caught in them. It just doesn't seem to be like the same dynamic, um, where it could be used to your advantage as well. So the hostility of the orbs is just toward the players, and the same goes for the disciples. So can't use them in your favor. You can only just deal with them. Same with the orbs. So watches, though, you can use them to your advantage, and I am going to show you guys a few things that I observed when I was playing yesterday with Benkei's. So we're gonna equip this, and I just have pretty basic stuff: ultimate damage, Oni damage, Fire Master, Resolve Increase, because this is not a class specific charm, so it doesn't have cool perks like Foul Arrows or Blessed Arrows or anything like that, but it is a ranged charm. So that means that you could actually make it work for your ranged classes, uh, or your ranged builds. And so obviously the first one that comes to mind is Hunter, but you could also use this for bomb throwers. So you could increase range damage to 12%, and you could increase range resolve gain to 10%. Uh, the others don't really apply, but I'm not sure that you would want that with this charm. Yeah, depending on what your build is. But if you're a Ronin, maybe this is viable, because you're not really using ultimate damage. Um, and you're mainly just using, if you're mainly just using bombs, then yeah. Um, but yeah, let's go in and try this.
どの伝承に惹かれますかな。始めましょ
And I'm gonna clear wave 0 and then just skip
う。
ahead
血をすする鉄。
to where we can see this in action. Alright, so we're back on. We got Hawachas, and we're gonna test this Benkei's Last Stand. So as you can see, I didn't take Hawacha damage at all right there.
敵の新手が姿を現した。
Now I'm gonna see if I can get in front of one of those fire archers and try to see if I can get. I'm gonna go back to the defense area. And I'm not too worried about traversing here with watches because, again, no damage. I did take damage right there. So what about these guys? No damage. Alright, taking damage right there. See again. Oh, alright, so I have been taking a little bit of damage right now, but in comparison to... Obviously I was not really fighting, just trying to see how much damage I could take. But yeah, that's cool to know, you know, that the charms 75% actually comes in handy on weeks with Hawachas. And also one thing that I wanted to show but I didn't get to because I got I got killed before. Sorry. Was that so the 75% is not per volley of attack. So you know the full circle of Hawachas. It's not like one of those circles in every 4 is gonna hit you. Um, it's more like if there's 4 Hawachas, I mean 4 arrows in that circle of Hawachas, one might hit you, but and the same applies to the volley of attack uh, with the Oni archers, right? So they might shoot 4 or 5 times at you, and one of those might hit you. So it's not per volley; it's per individual instance. So each single arrow that might hit you, one in 4 will hit you. Depending on how often it procs. As you guys saw, there were a few times that I just went through Hawachas and I took no damage. So it might be that it procs way more than that. It's all um, RNG. So yeah, that's a cool little tip for people that don't really enjoy weeks with Hawachas and they just want to, be able to play a little bit more relaxed and not take as much damage, especially because if you're playing samurai or assassin or even hunter, or actually all the classes, a lot of times you'll be in the middle of your ult because you have to use it because you have no smoke or whatever, and you'll be caught, or at the end of the animation if you're uh, any of the classes, at the end of the animation you're no longer protected because well, Ronin can actually. I recently found out that the Ronin can actually die in the middle of his ult if one of those Oni defenders skewers you with that charging attack. The others don't die, as far as I know, as far as my experience. But anyway, um, you're pretty much should not uh, die if you're in the middle of your ult. And you'll notice probably a lot of times you're in the middle of your ult, you take a lot of damage, and you're left with a sliver of health. And but at the very exact moment that you're no longer in your ult, then when the screen is no longer red, you're vulnerable again. So um, that's when this could save your life. So it's worth it in my opinion, especially if you're running hunter. Um, my charm is really not that different. I have ultimate damage, Oni damage, Fire Master here, and my usual charm has fire damage and ability radius and foul arrows. But if you kind of look at the damage output, it's not really anything dramatically different. So you could still do a lot of damage with these two because obviously ultimate damage and Oni damage are pretty big. And I have one of the same perks, Fire Master. Resolve increase comes in handy. You can build your ult faster. So yeah, I think it takes you only 4 headshots instead of 6 or 7 to get your ult. with this. So yeah, just wanted to show you guys, and I will, as always, be looking forward to seeing your comments, and I'll see you next time.